Today I wanted to talk to you about the planet Mercury. So Mercury is the planet which is ruled by Mercury. That is to say, your thoughts, they govern themselves. Or do they? Yes and no. See, Mercury is a planet which is known to be highly dualistic. But what if we flip this script? What if we say that Mercury is actually non-dual? There is no one who's thinking, right? So, Mercury is non-dual. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Because Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is a sign of union. So, if you put it together, Mercury is non-dual. See what I'm saying? Because the two twins, they are one. They are joined together in arms. So this is the daytime, the masculine expression of Mercury. Mercury. And so, Mercury moves quickly. That's why it's good to just, take some time and just sit down and breathe, and then breathe, and then breathe. So, this leads me to my next point, which is that Mercury rules the lungs. So, the wings of Mercury are elevating us to the world of the gods, right? So, what does it mean? I'm flapping the wings of Mercury. Good question. If I was going to be the one to tell you, maybe I would have already told you. Or maybe I'm going to tell you right now. So, I'll put it like this. Just by you thinking, you're flapping the wings of Mercury. Isn't that awesome? I personally think it is. So, my next point. Who is talking right now? Now, it seems like a very simple question, but it is not. Even though it's a simple question, the implications of the question might not be so simple. Because first we have to determine if there is a who to begin with. If there is a who, then which who is communicating, right? And then, on top of that, we have to decipher what communications are coming from which who. So, if you recognize that all things in the universe are having their own auric field, their own influence, then you have to decipher between influences and recognize that there's an infinitude of influences, but that everything exists on a percentage level scale. Nothing is truly 100%. That's what I'm here to tell you. And that's what me is here to tell me. So, my first question. Yes. Okay. So, my first question to you is that, well, weren't we talking about Mercury a little bit back before? Like, a few minutes ago? Yes, we were talking about Mercury. Okay, so I just wanted to get something straight. Like, how does this all connect to Mercury? Because you are 2, 2 equals 1, and 1 equals 0. Wow, that is awesome. I gotta say, that's an awesome explanation, and I will have to remember that. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you. Yes, it is my pleasure. So, with that being said, Mercury represents one's intellect. Mercury symbolizes your ability to think and analyze, as well as plan for details. So, Mercury rules 2 signs: Gemini and Virgo. And Mercury is exalted in Virgo. So, this means that Mercury is at its highest expression in a sign of practical adaptability. It's the mutable Earth, which is Virgo. So, Virgo is a sign which pertains to everyday life and the details of your environment. Mercury deals with assimilating the information that we receive from our environment. But as we're receiving information, let us not get tricked now. Mercury is called the trickster. Not without reason. Because as we are assimilating the information and compiling it into a logical basis, we must also take note that the physical sensations and the emotional experiences we're having may input their impressions upon our logical faculties and thereby distort our thinking pattern or our thinking expressions or thought forms. So the point is, the wings of Mercury elevate us to the world of the gods, because if the thoughts are not true, but they're coming from somewhere, they have something to do with the wings of Mercury. That is to say, somewhere along the duality, you can find yourself united by recognizing the duality was never separate. So, the trick is there was two to begin with. The reality is there was never two. There was only one. One theory. So, Mercury rules Gemini and it rules Virgo. It's exalted in Virgo, highest expression, and its lowest expression, or debilitation, is in Pisces. And it's also a detriment in Sagittarius, which means it's at work. So, this means that Sagittarius people, they have more of a struggle putting the details together at times. And Pisces feel lost as to the logical mechanisms sometimes, because they're dealing with realms which are abstract in an emotionally boundless way. There's no emotional boundary in a way, because Neptune removes the boundaries of separation. And it's a water sign, so it's limitless emotionality in the sign of Pisces. So there's no logical formation that could really be conclusive upon that type of archetype, in a way. You know, everything is all relative, but I digress. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini during the day. Well, it's rulership for the day is Gemini, and rulership by night is Virgo. So you could say Mercury loves to be very, very playful during the day, and during the night he's a bit more sober, even if he's not.